Indian Premier Narendra Modi arrives in the island to take part in the International Vesak Day celebrations. Sri Lanka's GSP Plus application receives approval. 201 kilograms of heroin discovered from Chilau and Maradana. Investigations continue to locate suspects in the shooting in Piliyandala. Crowds in their numbers arrive at the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone to pay homage to sacred relics.
Good evening and welcome. You're with News First, your #1 news provider. I am Shamil Rasuddin.
And I'm Sonali Wanik-Padage. We start off first with a look at the stories making it to the headlines. Starting off with one of our top stories tonight, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Harsha De Silva says all approvals have been granted to secure the GSP Plus concessions for Sri Lanka. The European Council of Ministers approved Sri Lanka's GSP Plus concession application earlier this evening. The GSP Plus application was earlier passed by the EU Commission and the EU Parliament.
A little while ago, the European Council of Ministers had approved the GSP Plus trade concession to Sri Lanka, which means it has gone to all three institutions, that is the European Commission, European Parliament and the European Council of Ministers. This will now get gazetted around the 21st or 22nd across the 28 European countries. And thereafter, Sri Lanka can export 6,600 items duty-free, completely duty-free to all these countries. So this is a big win for the government.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in the country today to take part in the International Vesak celebrations.
The Indian Premier, who landed at the Bandaranaike International Airport at 6 p.m, was welcomed by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. A group including Ministers Sajith Premadasa, Mangala Samaravira and Malik Samaravikrama were also present to welcome the visiting head of state. After placing his notes on the VIP guest book at the airport, the Indian Prime Minister departed for Colombo.
The arrival of the Indian...
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived at the Gangarama temple in Hunupiti to take part in religious activities. To tell us what's happening from the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone is News First Ramesh Bandara. Ramesh, tell us what exactly is happening right now and what is the mood like at the location at this point of time?
Yes, Shamir, I'm joining you from the head office of the Capital Maharaja organization, where thousands upon thousands have gathered to pay homage to the sacred relics that have been brought to the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone. I am at the enclosure which houses the sacred relics that have been brought from Mihintale, from Tissamaharama, and not forgetting the relics that have been brought from the Agrashravaka Mahavihare of the Mahabodhi Society. Today is day 2 of the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone. Here's a short recap of what happened throughout the day today.
රසකවි කිය කියා දාහිමි වැඳ ගන්න ආවෙමි නෙල්ලි ගල සිට මම මෙහි ඔන්න රත්තරන් පුතේ සිරසට පින් දෙන්න ආසයි මටත් මේ දාතුන් වැඳ ගන්න චක්කවරන් කීත රත් සුපාදෝ.
The environs of the Capital Maharaja Organization Limited head office was filled with people who had arrived to witness and pay homage to the Sarvangi sacred relics and the sacred relics of Agra Shravaka and Maharat Teros. The relics were open for viewing following the conclusion of several pujas and thevas.
විභූසිත පාදු ඒසාහි තුයිහ පිතා නරසිහු.
The sacred Sarvanya hair relics and skeletal relics are also placed at the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone. This is the first instance the Sarvanya relics were moved from the Sadnagiri Mahasaya in Tissa Maharama.
We bestow our blessings on Sirasa. Given our economic condition, we can't go to Damadeva. May those who attend this be reborn in heaven. This is a rare opportunity. We are very happy.
We thank the Sirasa Media Network for organizing this exposition. It is a gift to pay homage to the sacred relics.
The general public also has the opportunity to pay homage to the relics of the Sariyut and Mughal Agra Shavaka Theros. Sacred relics of 18 Maharat Theros are also placed at the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone.
Sambhav Agha Kulino.
We are very fortunate to pay homage to these sacred relics. We paid homage to the relics last time as well. It's extremely satisfying and peaceful to have been able to do it this time as well. This is like seeing Lord Buddha for our very own eyes. Not everyone gets this opportunity. I must have done a lot of meritorious deeds to get this opportunity.
In addition, the general public can pay homage to sacred relics of Mihindu Maharahat Thero.
Sunila Sukeso Kanchana Patta Visuddhala.
There was no rain for a few days, but ever since the exposition of relics, we have had some rain. It's like a blessing.
It was not raining, but on Poya Day it started raining, so the rains washed the city clean. There was change. What more do we need? This is what the sacred relics have done.
The sacred relics will be open for public viewing tomorrow as well.
Well, you witnessed the sacred relics that have been brought here at the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone. What are the other attractions that devotees will be able to witness and experience if they come to this International Vesak Zone? Here's a look.
The Sambuddha Puja at the Shakya Malakya at the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone was held today as well. Throughout last night and throughout the day today, thousands have gathered here devoutly and are engaging in the benevolent deed of paying homage to the sacred relics. The Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone contains lanterns, puppet shows and Bhakti Gita.
Pita නාරසිහෝ
A rice dansala is open for the devotees throughout the evening. The Vesak zone was made colourful by a perahera organised by the Sri Lanka Navy. The pandal, which depicts the Kundala Kesi Jataka story, has been lit up using more than 200,000 light bulbs.
Now, as we said earlier, today is day 2 of the Sirasa John Keels International Vesak Zone. Now, you witness the sacred relics that have been brought to this location. You witness the dansas, you witness the toranas, and you witness all the other Bhaktigi performances and everything that have been lined up for you. Merely witnessing this through your television screen is not enough. Come down to Brave Brew Street here in Colombo and experience the Sirasa John Keels International Vesak Zone. We will be open tonight till late in the night, and we will be open tomorrow as well. If there are any devotees who want to pay homage to the sacred relics will be on display tomorrow as well, which is the final day of the Sirasa John Keels International Vesak Zone. In addition to that, the Sri Lanka Navy will be conducting a perahera or a special procession today as well. They conducted one last night and they will be conducting one today as well. Unfortunately, today is the only day that the Sri Lanka Navy will be having this perahera. So if you are in and around Colombo, to come over to the Sirasa John Keels International Vesak Zone and experience all what we have to offer. That's it from the International Vesak Zone. Sonali, it's back to you.
Thank you very much, Ramesh, for that comprehensive update. Still in news here at home, police discovered 198 kilograms of heroin during a raid carried out in Ana Vilundava, Chilao last night. Meanwhile, a stock of heroin worth around 35 million rupees was found from a garbage dump in Maradana.
The stock of heroin was discovered in a garbage dump located in a by-road adjacent to the Garmini Theatre in Maradana. A passerby had tipped off the police of the suspicious parcel. Police believe the garbage dump may have been used as a drop and collection point. The 198 kilograms of heroin discovered from Chilao last night is estimated to be valued at 2 billion rupees. According to the police, this is the single largest drug haul seized by a single police unit. The raid was led by DIG Champika Sirivardhana. The drugs are believed to have entered Sri Lanka via the northwestern seas and were seized along with a suspect while being transported in a Land Rover SUV.
The Puttalam Intelligence Unit received information of this haul 3 months ago. Heroin transported via sea is being transported in tranches. We organized the raid and informed the IGP. He gave the green light for us to carry out the raid last night. The police is committed to drive away drugs from the country. If one thinks they can stop the police through intimidation and something similar to what happened in Piriyandala, they are wrong.
Police informants had conveyed information of a drug shipment over the recent days. Thereby, law enforcement personnel decided to carry out a raid. On Tuesday night, 2 officers had been travelling in a car along with Police Inspector Neomal Wangajiva. 2 gunmen in a motorbike opened fire at their car when they were passing Piriyandala. Police headquarters said that its personnel were travelling in 3 vehicles. Police Inspector Neomal Wangajiva and 2 other officers had been travelling in a private car to avoid attention. However, their car was targeted by the gunmen, raising suspicions that this attack was carried out by a highly organised drug syndicate. The motorbike used to carry out the shooting was discovered abandoned by police in Maharagama yesterday. Police have taken over the footage of the shooting recorded on CCTV cameras in the area.
This is not the first time the police has come under threat. The police is further strengthened by this. The recent incident claimed the life of one officer and injured 2 others. It is clear through these raids how the Sri Lanka police is facing these challenges. We will continue this war on drugs until the drug smugglers and the international drug network is destroyed.
Police Constable Chaminda Abe Wikrama, who was killed at the age of 37, was one of the best officers in the Police Narcotic Bureau, having been decorated 112 times during his 15-year service. Taking into account his sacrifice in the line of duty, he was promoted to the rank of Police Sergeant. His remains were placed at his house in Valipannaga Kuliyapitiya until this evening. Thereafter, the remains were moved to his wife's residence. The final rites will take place at the Maruvilla Public Cemetery with police honours. He leaves behind his wife, son of 4 years and daughter of 8 years. Police Inspector Neomal Rangajiva and the other officer were shot in the head and chest and continue to receive treatment at the National Hospital due to the serious nature of their injuries.
Police Inspector Rangajiva continues to receive treatment in the intensive care unit. A breathing aid is being attached due to complications. A surgery was performed on his head yesterday. The police constable is being treated in Ward 72 due to his injuries suffered on his back, hands and legs. Plastic surgery is to be performed later on.
2 girls aged 8 and 11 who were at a nearby restaurant, a 16-year-old teenage boy and a 3-wheeler driver were injured in the shooting as well. The 8-year-old was discharged from hospital today. The 2 other children are being treated in the ICU. The 11-year-old girl is in serious condition. The 16-year-old boy is now breathing on his own but is being treated in the ICU. The 3-wheeler driver is being treated at the ward. He will be discharged from hospital in a few days.
It appears that the local dealers are not giving up on this trade. I believe that the fines imposed via the Poisons, Opium and Dangerous Drugs Ordinance have to be raised. If not, the whole situation will be a cycle. We will make arrests and fine them. They will return to the trade in numbers. The magistrate's court can only impose a fine of around 7,500 rupees. A heroin peddler can earn 7,500 rupees in a single hour.
Chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, Professor Rabindra Fernando, notes that there is a delay in implementing the law when it comes to prosecuting persons connected to drugs.
The recent arrest of large quantities of heroin, large quantities of other drugs such as cocaine are not for Sri Lankan consumption. It appears that Sri Lanka has become a transit point and the International Narcotics Control Board has also stated that Sri Lanka is a transit point. So we think most of these substances detected in large quantities are not for Sri Lankan consumption. If we arrest more than a certain quantity of heroin or cannabis, the case has to be heard at the High Court, and therefore there are delays which are inevitable under the present system.
Inspector General of Police Pujit Jayasundara took part in a meditation program at the Parliament grounds in Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte today.
Mama asupandahaka mage police niladaruwan.
How can I better serve my police force of 85,000 as well as the people of this country? I should first set an example. I should minimize my shortcomings. I should understand my shortcomings. I need to understand that I do not know everything. If we want to teach humility, we need to be humble.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa visited the temple of the Sacred Tooth relic this morning.
After paying reverence to the sacred relics, the former president made the following comments. I have no opinion on his arrival. He was invited by the government, so he has a responsibility to make a visit. But the outcome of this visit can differ. This is not the first time that such a festival is being held. I visited Thailand for a similar purpose on an earlier occasion. His visit will have no harm on us, but if he signs an agreement, that will be harmful. I believe that he has already signed the documents, so his arrival won't have any impact. There is no conspiracy.
Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca commented on democracy during an event in Ranmuthugala, Kadawatha.
It is my personal opinion that Rajitha Senaratne confronts issues directly and is able to speak without any fear. There are those in the government who share this opinion, while there are others who have other opinions. There are some who get hurt when we criticize a former ruler. Therefore, they make submissions. The President and the Prime Minister uphold the principles of democracy and listen to their submissions. I believe another appointment will be made to that position. I believe there should be a cabinet reshuffle, but due to certain reasons, I have to speak against some. I am aware of the actions of some. Their supporters are not pleased with them at all. The President and the Prime Minister must take a decision on them. That will be good in the long run.
A proposal made by President Maithripala Sirisena in his capacity as the Minister of Defence to sign a memorandum of understanding with the government of Netherlands to provide services of the Sri Lankan Navy for the Netherlands Navy Brigade serving in the Indian Ocean has been approved by the Cabinet of Ministers.
The MOU is to increase the maritime security of vessels flying the Dutch flag in the Indian Ocean using Sri Lankan Navy personnel. The island newspaper reports that Netherlands would use the Galle Navy base to store weapons and other equipment required by its personnel assigned for the protection of vessels. According to the MOU, the Dutch government will provide a payment for the services that they obtain. The cabinet decision was approved when it convened on the 9th of May. The International Chamber of Commerce has also expressed its concern with the rise in Somali hijackings in its territorial waters. The ICC advises merchant and other vessels sailing in the area to practice BMP4 standards, which are the suggested planning and operational practices for ship operators and masters of ships transiting in the high-risk area.
And before wrapping up the news for tonight, just a reminder, you too can be a part of the Sirasa John Keel's International Vesak Zone. It will be in function, it will be in operation tomorrow as well to pay homage to the sacred relics. My name is Sonali Wanigabadake.
And I am Shamir Rasulin. Join us again tomorrow, same time, same place. Till then, take care and good night.